Valley News Live at 5.
The Radisson Hotel in downtown Fargo is back in operation, and a man is being evaluated after a brief lockdown this afternoon. Investigators believed the man was suicidal and possibly had a firearm. This incident happens as the nation is focused on a shooting out of a hotel in Las Vegas. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer was at the scene today and has the story from a hotel guest.
There were numerous police and emergency personnel in the lobby at all the doors except the front door that was open.
John Winkleman is visiting Fargo with his wife. They are in town for an art exhibit.
Here about 15 to 12 and decided to check in and walked up to the desk and asked if the room was ready, and the young woman said, yes, it is, but we can't check anyone in because we're in lockdown.
The Red River SWAT team swarmed the 7th floor of the Radisson Hotel. The team was trying to get in contact with who they believed was a suicidal man who possibly had a gun.
Red River Regional SWAT team arrived on scene, went up to the 7th floor, and at 11:53 a.m. we were able to successfully resolve this incident.
Even though the Radisson was on lockdown, Winkleman was trusting in authorities and hotel staff.
I think most hotels have enough security. Right here, I believe we're real near the police station, so I feel very safe at the Radisson.
This incident comes on the heels of the Las Vegas shooting.
Gunshot wound to the chest here.
Really in favor of greater gun control nationwide, and it wouldn't have surprised me in the least if it was a gun issue.
The incident ended peacefully, but other witnesses on the scene were fearful of a more violent ending, much like the tragedy that unfolded out of a hotel room earlier this week. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
The man involved in the incident was taken for medical evaluation and has not yet been identified by authorities. No one was hurt. We can't seem to get rid of the clouds, but at least it was fairly warm out there today. Hutch, what about this evening if we're headed to, maybe a football game?
Well, it looks pretty quiet across the valley as we head into the evening hours. This morning, another chilly one with some upper 20s out in parts of central and northern Minnesota. 31 the low in Badette, 34 in Fargo, and freezing in Grand Forks to start the day. We've seen some sunshine. Temperatures have warmed up. The best chance of clear skies is out to the west. We still have some clearing clouds across western Minnesota as showers exit the Twin Cities. The windy weekend is ahead. Already a wind advisory for our western counties. We'll have some gusts over 40 right here in the valley. More on that later this evening. Temperatures primarily in the 50s as we go through the evening hours with light south winds. The quietest the winds will be until next week sometime. So get out and enjoy.
All right. Thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
The Stutsman County Sheriff's Department wants you to know they're looking for 2 fugitives who could be in the Jamestown area. 24-year-old Levi Guthmiller is currently wanted by the state of Minnesota on an arrest warrant for possessing a controlled substance and fleeing a police officer. The sheriff's office says he has firearms and other dangerous weapons. Guthmiller is a white male, 6'2", about 150 pounds, with a slender build, green eyes and red hair. The second fugitive is Janessa Ryan. She's wanted by North Dakota Corrections, but authorities are not releasing more information about her warrant. She's 25, white, green eyes, brown hair, about 156 pounds, and wanted by North Dakota officials. Ryan could be hiding in either Jamestown or Carrington. If you see either of these people, use caution and call 911 or the Stutsman County dispatch number. That is 252-9200. It's Friday and time to take a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say Jason Bai is wanted for a probation violation on felony drug charges. You can call your local law enforcement if you have any information on him. The Las Vegas Strip is open for business, but the mood is heavy. Investigators are searching for any clue as to why a 64-year-old gambler opened fire on an outdoor music festival. Reports are now coming in that the shooter, who killed 59 people here, may have rigged his car to explode. A law enforcement source says Stephen Paddock left at least 1,000 rounds of ammunition and an explosive inside the vehicle. Also, new reports out just minutes ago say that Paddock traveled overseas in the past 6 months and that investigators are looking for a second person who may have known about the shooting before it happened. Paddock's girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley, says she had no idea of his plan, but in a 4-hour interview, she told investigators he would scream in his sleep and she was worried about his mental stability. President Trump issued new rules today allowing more employers to opt out of providing insurance that includes contraceptive coverage for women by claiming religious or moral objections. Weijia Jiang has more details from the White House.
President Trump issued a set of new rules that allows employers to opt out of providing certain contraception coverage to women if they object on moral or religious grounds.
The president believes that the freedom to practice one's faith is a fundamental right in this country, and I think all of us do, and that's all that today was about.
The Trump administration says the Obamacare mandate violates employers' freedom of religion.
This is a president who supports the First Amendment, supports the freedom of religion. I don't understand why that should be an issue.
Gretchen Borchardt with the National Women's Law Center says the Trump rules are a blow for women's health and rights.
It's really prioritizing a certain religious view about contraception over a woman's own personal beliefs and her views about what's right for her and her body.
She says her organization will join others in suing the Trump administration.
To take this away from women while not changing the other care that men receive is really an attack on women. That's discrimination, pure and simple.
An Obama administration study showed more than 55 million women accessed free birth control because of the contraceptive coverage mandate. The new regulations could end that coverage for hundreds of thousands of women. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House.
The new rules will take effect as soon as they're on display at the Office of the Federal Register. Quite the scare at a South Fargo apartment building earlier today. Firefighters had to be called out to a car that went up in flames at the building just south of the Kmart off of University. Our crew on scene said the fire was put out pretty quickly. The Fargo Fire Department and police were both called there around 3:30 this afternoon. There's no word yet on if there were any injuries. A number of big construction projects are close to wrapping up this season. According to the North Dakota Department of Transportation, construction on the overpass at 32nd Avenue and I-29 is set to be completed within the next 2 weeks, as long as the weather agrees. The median construction on I-94 over Cheyenne is also making good progress, but its completion sets up future headaches for drivers. Later tonight on Valley News Live, we'll talk to an official about some of the major construction already planned for next year. A man was injured after rolling his cement mixer into a river in Jamestown today. Emergency officials were called to a home in the southeast part of Jamestown sometime after noon. The driver was trying to back a cement mixer behind a home when the riverbank gave way and he rolled into the James River. Jamestown Police Sergeant Sid Mann reported that while crews were trying to get the cement mixer out of the river, the Jamestown Fire Department was on scene for hazmat control since cement was leaking from the mixer. The name of the driver has not been released and his immediate condition is not known. The puck will drop soon to start another season for the Fargo Force. Tonight is the season opener for the team, and this year marks the 10th anniversary for the Force. With only 6 players returning from last season, head coach Kerry Eads says the team has been working on the basics and will set goals one game at a time.
You know, when it comes down to it, it's the 6 guys on the ice counting the goalie, trying to outcompete the other team. So, you know, get back to the basics, play very simple early, and try to get into the flow.
And just a reminder, because Valley News Live and the Fargo Force have teamed up, if you can't make it to Shields Arena, you can catch the Fargo Force game on MeTV at 7 tonight. A recent